Hello and welcome back to Brain Injury.
What a kerfuffle.
Hello again, you're still with us and that's excellent. I thought you were laughing before I hadn't even started yet. Can you stop laughing, please? What shall I talk about then?
Sorry.
You're not giving me a chance. Right.
Stop this.
Yeah?
I wasn't expecting you to go so, full force.
I use what energy I have when I have it.
It just made me laugh. Oh, sorry about that. Right, well, as you can see...
Well, apparently, on episode 5.
Yes, but on episode 5, I was going to say, as you can see, it's not all doom and gloom when people have had a stroke. There is humour that comes to play as well. It's just really made me laugh the way he's gone into that this morning or this afternoon.
Yes, and can I just say for all of you, those who've stuck with us, you probably deserve a medal or even good cup
of tea and a biscuit, chocolate digestive or whatever. Yeah. Oh dear, that's really thrown me completely.
I don't rehearse. I can't rehearse.
No,
it just has to be whatever's coming out.
I know. And at the beginning, Bob said he wanted it to be spontaneous, and it is. So I asked you, didn't I, what do you want episode 5 to be about? And you said, let's do a recap and then talk about feelings, because we haven't really talked about feelings.
From day one, sort of.
Yeah.
Till now. Yeah.
And I think last time we'd sort of said that you don't know what you're dealing with until you're dealing with it, because even though as nurses we'd looked after people with strokes in hospital, it's not until you get home and start seeing how things have affected you and then how everything changes, because it's not just, you're the person that's had the stroke, but everything else changes around you, doesn't it, as well? And so there's a lot of feelings that can come with that, isn't there? Like fear, frustration, anger, tears, but also hope and a lot of laughter if you're lucky.
Yeah.
And that would be
us, the laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I suspect we both really had more or less the same feelings for different reasons.
Yeah.
I know they talk a lot about, because it was something we heard the other day, about the grief and for the loss, I guess, for identity and things like that. I mean, I don't think I grieved. I don't think I felt I needed, because I was always optimistic. Even if I felt sad or a bit down or in my no man's land, I never actually felt grief, I don't think. Unless they're one of the stages of grief. Who knows? Nobody told me I was grieving. So
I think it's a difficult thing, isn't it? Because sometimes we just feel a lot of emotions and it's hard to say what we're grieving for. But I know a lot of the time you would say, well, I could do this before I had the stroke. Or if I hadn't had a stroke, I'd have done this in 2 minutes.
That's more of a regret.
Yeah, I think
full thing. I don't think I was. I mean, it meant I could sit down more. That was the positive side.
Except for you'd sit down and say, oh, I've got to sit down, I'm so tired. And setting the timer, you'd be like,
there's frustration because I couldn't. I mean, I'd say in the old days, i.e. before the stroke, I could have that done in 10 minutes. And we're talking 2 hours later. And perhaps I hadn't even started because I'm still thinking about it or planning it,
Yeah.
And I would plan jobs for days and still couldn't do it.
Yeah, and still do.
I mean, I wanted to, but I just, the motivation or whatever you call it, what did she say it was?
Initiation.
The bit that kicks you off just wasn't there at all. That in itself was a weird feeling, knowing I was sitting there wanting to do something, thinking about doing something, looking at the things that I wanted to do, and yet I couldn't get up and do it. I just didn't enter my mind that I could just get up and do it
No.
because there was nothing there of me to say, get your bum into gear and do it. I just didn't have it.
And I wonder a lot of the times, because something that you've always had, even pre-stroke, is that you've wanted to be useful.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? You've never wanted to be sort of sitting around doing nothing. You've always been somebody that's had a lot of ideas and things like that. But I think that for a while there was no ideas. There was just nothing, was there? It was just that basically getting through the day and learning things. Oh, you said something interesting the other day, that it had never occurred to you that you had to relearn things.
No, just looking back, I can see that I had to relearn a lot of stuff which I didn't know I needed to. And it was everything really, from getting up, going to bed, pulling the covers over me. I think the best one was at the brain injury unit. What do you do if it's a hot day and you got your coat on?
Oh yeah, you take your coat off, don't you? Yeah.
She came into the room and I was like a little beetroot.
Well, I think just rewind there.
Yeah.
You were actually, that was one of your psychology appointments. You were actually with a psychologist. So you were both sat in an office talking psychology stuff. And then at the end of the session, psychologist called me in just so we could have like a brief sort of catch up, recap, whatever. Because quite often if she'd suggested anything to you, she'd tell me, wouldn't she? Yeah, and Bob was sat there with his coat on, done up to his chin, and he was bright red, like an absolute beetroot.
Yeah.
And I went, are you hot?
I said, yes.
I said, take your coat off. And the psychologist went, oh, because I don't think she'd realised that he was so hot. She was
Again,
focused on what she was doing.
that initiation.
Had you realised you were hot?
Yeah, but I couldn't even think at that point of a simple solution to not being hot. Or
yeah, it wouldn't have occurred to you.
I'd probably been the same if I'd been sat outside in the t-shirt in the middle of winter, cold.
That is true, because that happened a few times. I've come in and you've been sat cold.
Yeah.
And like your little legs going blue.
Yeah.
And I said, are you cold? Yeah. Put a blanket on. And you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, never thought of it.
The reason why little legs are blue is because I almost 20, no, there's not 24 months, 12. Almost 12 months of the year.
You started off too enthusiastically.
I know, I'm running down. Tom's the eye exclusively wearing shorts full time.
Yeah.
And so, regardless of the weather, I'm in my shorts and t-shirt. And I'll go outside like that, regardless of the weather.
Yeah.
Time of year.
And sometimes without shoes. Come back in with wet feet and sit with wet socks on or whatever if you've got socks on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a little monkey, aren't I?
Yeah.
Or something.
Not a little monkey.
Yeah. This is me rustling paper. I don't have to, but I thought it might impress you. If sounds like I'm using a script.
It'll be hilarious when we're actually on video. Yeah. So I have made some notes anyway, because we were going to recap, weren't we? But I think you just threw me completely by the way you opened the podcast. That just cracked me up. So yeah, I don't really think we need to recap the notes that I made there about the things that we've covered so far. So
another piece of paper.
Another piece of paper on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So emotions, like you said, you didn't feel like you'd grieved, and I don't think I did either initially. So the first stroke you had was like 6 weeks after my dad's funeral.
Yes.
So it was we really
in a bit of a state of limbo.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Reg wasn't my dad,
He was your dad.
but he felt like my dad.
Yeah.
You know, and that we were that. I mean, it was a blokey closeness, but we were close and
Yeah.
respected each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a unique relationship. Everybody has a unique relationship with everybody else, don't they? So,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think so. From me looking in, obviously you were very upset. You also were having symptoms that we didn't realise were actually angina symptoms in your back
That's right.
and neck, which were impacting on your sleep. And so I think we came home after everything and we had one good night's sleep, didn't we? And then you started having these sort of angina episodes.
I didn't know it. Yeah.
Because you don't have any symptoms that are normal, do you?
No.
So
I had atypical strokes, they call it, which
Yeah.
means you don't show any of the normal. I had 2 atypical heart attacks, which means you don't show any of the symptoms. So,
yeah,
but I remember I was suffering it, and it had never occurred to me for a second, because I've always been more or less healthy and never had heart trouble or,
no.
you know.
And I don't think you were aware of any family history of any health issues either, were you, at the time? So, but I think for me, you having the stroke sort of stopped that grieving.
Yeah, put it on.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I don't know how we did it. You know, because obviously we'd lost Dad. The funeral had been 6 weeks later. You had your stroke, and then that was just like,
well,
emotionally.
Yeah. My memory of that time is that we were trying to get back to normal, basically. Do normal things, like having a day out, going to Tai Chi, and because I was getting these pains at night, that again didn't make me even think of a stroke. You know, so everything was starting to, I suppose, get mixed together. And it was hard after everything we've been through. Because, I mean, when Reg was poorly, we were staying at the house and basically we did night duty.
Yeah,
for weeks on end, you know, and that in itself took a lot out of us. But I'd do it again for him. That's for sure. Anyway, what was I talking about? My feelings.
Yeah, because obviously, we were trying to get back into some routine normality, and then you had your stroke, which, again, we've already spoken about the positivity that you were like, and blagging, that you were like, I don't care, I just need to know what I need to do, move forward. And
but that was also true.
Yeah. But I don't know, I think there was some emotional effect to it.
Again,
it's difficult to
remember.
Yeah.
Because you brought me home and you took me up in bed for a nap. I remember that. And my feelings as I remember it, whether they were everywhere, they weren't any one thing. Because I remember I was laughing at one point about nothing. And then I was not sad, but a bit morose, and I was very changed, but very quick.
That just reminds me, because I think you said that your head was like a bowl of spaghetti.
Yeah.
And it was all jumbled up. There was nothing sort of...
that I could get onto.
Yeah, one end of spaghetti wasn't necessarily connected to the correct end of whatever it was you were looking for.
That just reminded me of something the chief psychologist said. He loved my use of analogies.
Yeah.
He said I used them in every every sentence I used an analogy to explain, and he said it made their job so much simpler.
Yeah, you did actually say something. I can't remember what it was. You said something about a bridge and something not being able to get over, because he said that is the best analogy he'd heard of a stroke. No, I can't remember what it was. Do you remember?
I don't, but it sounds right.
Yeah, it was something like a broken bridge, wasn't it? That you were having a thought and you couldn't.
I couldn't get back to what normality was, or what I felt normality was. That I was stuck on this side, I think.
Yeah, something to do with your thoughts and crossing bridges. But yeah, definitely the big bowl of spaghetti.
But my head was everywhere.
Yeah.
And then I sort of for the next week or two, I don't have much recollection. It's like a blank. It's like my head was. It gave me the bit to fight, get the news and get home, and then it took over. I just slept a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've no I can pick up.
And I think for me, I'm very practical, so I cope in a crisis. I'm good in a crisis. So when things happen, I can react and deal. And for me, way to...
Can I just say, I used to cope in a crisis. Now I just look at Sarah.
No, you are.
I go, I look at Sarah to see what she's going to say.
Yeah, you can't cope in a crisis now, can you? Because let's face it, somebody knocking on the door is a crisis now, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, God, I can't remember what I was saying now.
You always cope in a crisis.
Oh, yeah. So for me, if I can do something practical and do practical steps, that really helps me. I'm not a sitter and a navel gazer, that's the term, isn't it? Just sitting contemplating things all the time. I have to, when something happens, I have to be able to take action. That's my way of coping. So I think with everything that had gone on, it was just like a massive, even though I'm good in a crisis normally, it was just, there was way too many things. And I think I was having my own health issues as well, starting at the time. So it was all just not just a big bowl of spaghetti, but a big bowl of something else, beginning with this.
And I have to say, almost not long after it happened, especially the second one, I became very aware of how much it was taking out of Sarah, and how she was having to cope with, and I couldn't help her. It felt that used to make me feel quite sad, because in my head it was, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to say. And I think I said to you, I wish I could do more for you, but I don't know what. I was not selfish, but I couldn't do much myself.
Yeah.
That was my...
Well, literally getting up, getting washed, getting dressed took so much time and effort for you that you just didn't have that. And I was also working more hours then. So you were on your own at home with stuff that I'd left you, lunch and...
notes everywhere.
Yeah, and all that malarkey going on. So that was a massive...
regular text, what are you doing? Do this, do that.
Yeah, checking in on you.
All many different alarms on my phone going off. Take your tablets.
Yeah.
Get up, move around.
Yeah.
I think...
Have you ticked your boxes?
The longest gap between alarms about half an hour, I think, through the day. But it got me. I didn't see them as an intrusion, because they got me through the day.
They were essential, really, weren't they?
Yeah.
And I think I would say to people who aren't using aids like that they make such a difference. I've had people say to me, "Don't treat me like a child," or "I'm not stupid," or whatever. It's not about that. It's about using aids and things to make your life easier for yourself. It's not about being stupid or childish. It's about doing what's necessary.
And I think if you can be grown up about it, it gets very easy to tell where somebody's trying to help you or somebody's patronising you. And you don't have to have anything to do with the patronisers, but take the help of those that are offering it.
Yeah.
They're not treating you like a child.
No.
And don't forget, they're not in your shoes. They don't really have a clue what's going on in your head.
Yeah.
And it can change from minute to minute.
I was just going to say, and sometimes even when people ask you what's going on, you're not able to articulate it, which just adds to your frustration sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, because being understood is something that maybe we'll talk about that in the next episode, about how, different things that helped with communication and stuff. Because I think we've really had to, I think we communicate better now than we ever have. But there's been that big period of time where we've really had to work hard on communication. Because, you know, lots of things changed. There was a period where you didn't have any expression at all in your face, and you'd say, I'm laughing. And there was just no outward, there was no, you know, smile, there was no sound of you laughing, but you said inside you were really laughing at something on the telly, for instance.
But I couldn't get it out.
But there was just no indication on the outside at all.
Because whatever it was hadn't said, you can laugh now.
Yeah. And so this is from my point of view, when I'm talking to you, or when I was talking to you and there was nothing, which sometimes that's still, especially if you're tired, that can still be. You know, it's really difficult because it feels like you're having a one-sided conversation. You really feel like you're talking to yourself and not getting that feedback that you're used to. Whereas now we've actually sat down and talked about it, and, you know, let's face it, there's been tears and shouts and, you know, arguments and things like that while we've worked our way around it, isn't it? And that's also something that we didn't really argue.
No.
And you would say now we don't argue, and we don't, but we do have
slightly
frustrations. We
Yeah.
can be a bit snappy with each other sometimes when we're both a bit frustrated, can't we? But we know the cause of it, and we know what to do more or less now, don't we? Like, I know I need time away. You go off, listen to your book, do the washing up, whatever. You know, we both sort of know we need time. There's no point trying to talk about anything.
I rely heavily on my routine for the day. I know what to do. We'll have to check. I don't always remember. I have to double check quite often. But I know when my last job is, which is making coffee after tea.
In the evening,
Yeah. Then I know I can relax. I don't have to worry about anything. If you take one of those away, all of a sudden, as I've said.
Yeah.
No.
So I think the longer term effects. So as time's gone on, certain things have improved, certain things haven't. And how have you sort of, what advice would you give, or how have you felt about that?
I think the only thing to get you through, that's what it's about. It's about getting through to the other side, whatever that has for you, is to keep optimistic. Not say it, you have to believe it. You know, I mean, it's what got me through from day one. Even on those days where it's hard. And I was going to say, from those days where I couldn't see any point, but there must have always been a point for me to be optimistic. That's my contribution to it.
Yeah. I think as time's gone on, you adapt and you change things. I think the advice I would say is, just because you've lost something that you used to love to do, there are different ways that you can adapt, and you can find new things. You know, you may not be able to do the things that you like to do exactly, but there is always something that you can look, there's always something you can look forward to, because you can either get into a new interest, something that,
Yes.
you know, that you maybe hadn't thought of before. And then there are always adaptations and ways around things, aren't there? Like the cycling, for instance, and going to the gym. I didn't realise there's an adaptive cycling group. So for people who can't ride a normal bike, they actually have adapted bikes, and you can go to groups, things like that. And for gaming, because we like to play computer games, and that was a bit of a thing. We had to look at different controllers and stuff like that. But there's always ways around things. It's just sometimes you have to be a bit inventive, isn't it?
What I'd say with gaming, strokes, they can affect your eyes.
Yes.
I was fortunate really that it only affected reading and things like that. I can only read a little bit, and then it goes just all melts together.
Yeah.
But thankfully, it hasn't affected my gaming screen. I can still play.
Yeah, I think in the beginning you did get nauseous because of the eye movements, wasn't it? And it was quite a while before you tried gaming again.
Yeah.
But it was. I'm just saying, it's one of those things. You know, whatever you enjoy in life, there are ways around it and things you can be. So yes, you'll grieve. Yes, you'll be angry. You'll get frustrated, and that doesn't go away, because as things go along, this is from my caring point of view now. As things go along, I'm just trying to think. But you know, as life carries on, so we're 10 years after your first stroke, aren't we?
Yeah.
There's been some improvement, but there are a lot of things we can't do that we used to do.
And we're still aware of the deficits.
Yes, but there are new things that we are able to do, and we've adapted, and we can do different things together.
And if we try new things and they don't work, then we try something else.
Yeah.
We don't say, "Oh, I'm too good, I can't."
Yeah.
No, we say, "Right, we'll try something else."
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So initially I was like, we'll just keep these podcast episodes to 15, 20 minutes. And you were absolutely shattered after the first time, but getting into it a bit now, aren't you?
Started vitamins. I started a daily vitamin. That's it.
Yeah, so we're at 27 minutes, so I suppose we should look at wrapping up this one. And I'm just going to make a note when I get this giant fat pen that you've given me for next time. Communication.
Yeah.
I think we've mentioned, and there's just a few things that I'm just going to make a couple of notes.
That's Sarah's paper, not mine.
You can start wrapping up.
Right then, people. Thank you ever so much for listening in again. I mean, it was a bit all over the place, but that's part of the journey.
Yeah, that's life for us, really. Yeah. So everything.
Don't forget, we've survived strokes, hospitals, heart attacks.
Life
you name it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And even Tesco's meal deals, we survived.
Yeah, microwave meals, pinged meals.
Yes. So you can survive as well.
Yeah. And if you keep listening, you can get a degree in the, what is it? The kerfuffleology.
Degree? I'll have to settle for a diploma until they've been with us a bit longer. Degree.
A degree. So, from the good ship Kerfuffle.
Yes.
Captain Bob and Captain's Mate Me.
Yes.
Signing off this week, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Yeah. Cheers, bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.